6 people are left dead after an attack in 2 Afghanistan schools.
The travel mask mandate has finally been lifted after this federal ruling.
And learn about how mental health is just as important as physical health for collegiate athletes.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV News at Noon. I'm Madison Myers.
And I'm Sydney Deshawn. At least 6 are dead with dozens more injured in an Afghanistan bombing today. The attack took place at 2 schools in the western region. The attack occurred as students were leaving their morning classes. One witness who was in the area at the time of the attack spoke on the devastating aftermath of the bombing.
When we went outside, we saw the suicide attack happen there. When we wanted to see what had happened, the area was full of smoke, dust, and blood. People were running away and crying. Their condition was not good.
This is not the first time the area has been targeted. Islamic State militants have killed dozens in the past through attacks on mosques and schools. No group has claimed responsibility for this attack at this time.
For the first time in 2 years, masks are no longer required on planes after a federal judge in Florida struck down the national mandate. The White House is still reviewing the decision. The TSA says they will not be enforcing the mandate, and most airlines will now allow masks to be optional. CNN's Pete Muntean reporting.
A surprise court ruling has ended the transportation mask mandate for now. U.S. District Judge Catherine Kimball Mizell said she does not need another hearing to decide that the rule exceeds the CDC's authority. Mizell's Monday ruling first threw the travel industry into disarray, but now a growing list of airlines confirm masks are no longer required on their flights. The federal government began requiring masks on planes, trains, buses, boats, and in terminals starting in February 2021. Last week, the Biden administration once again extended the rule to expire on May 3rd, citing a rise in coronavirus cases. But only hours prior, the airline industry's top lobby wrote the White House to say the mandate must end.
We've done it for 2 years, and it's time to move beyond that and now make that the responsibility of individuals.
Face coverings are required at all times.
Judge Mizell was appointed to federal district court in 2020 by then-President Donald Trump. In her ruling, Mizell said travelers have been, quote, forcibly removed from their airplane seats, denied boarding at the bus steps, and turned away at the train station doors, likening it to, quote, detention and quarantine. Immediately following her decision, passengers at airports across the country continued wearing masks, unaware of the ruling.
Hopefully it ends.
I'll always wear my mask. I lost my grandmother to COVID a year ago, and so I'm very particular about the mask.
Airline companies can still require masks on planes if they wish, but it is no longer mandatory. Since the mandate was taken down, the Association of Flight Attendants has called for, quote, calm and consistency in the airports and on planes. You know, Sydney, it was kind of chilly yesterday with a little breeze, but walking to the studio this morning, it felt so nice. I wonder what we can expect for the rest of this week.
Well, Maddie, we will be seeing warm temperatures hitting close to 90 degrees. We will also be seeing some rain later in the week, but I will break that down later in the show for you guys. Right now, let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions here in Denton. Right now, we are sitting at 70 degrees, and it does feel slightly warmer at 74 with wind speeds at 15 miles per hour. Now, moving on to tonight, we can expect similar conditions. It'll be 75, feeling like 72 with similar wind speeds at 15 miles per hour. Now, moving on to tomorrow's forecast, we can expect some showers in the evening. Our temperatures will be at 74, feeling like 73 with a little bit higher wind speeds at 16 miles per hour. Now, that is all I have for our first look. Make sure to stay with us for our full weather forecast later in the show. Back to you at the desk, Maddie.
Thanks, Sydney. The California woman known as the Gone Girl Faker for faking her own kidnapping has pleaded guilty, officials say. In 2016, Sherry Papini ran away from her home and family to stay with her ex-boyfriend, but she claimed 2 Hispanic women kidnapped her at gunpoint and tortured her. Papini then collected money from the State Victims Compensation Fund to pay for home improvements and therapy. On Monday, the mother of two pleaded guilty to making false statements to the FBI and mail fraud. The 39-year-old is expected to be sentenced in July and could face up to 25 years in prison with fines of up to $500,000.
As finals week is coming up soon, you may be experiencing some stress and anxiety. Stay tuned to hear about the resources UNT has to offer.
And there is an electrifying unveiling in the Big Apple. We have the story. Stay with us.
At a time when misinformation is all too common on social media, we take great pride in bringing you the news that matters, that impacts your family, news you can trust. Local broadcast journalists bring you the facts, covering the stories breaking in our community and across the globe. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on local journalism. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
It's that time of year where everyone plays a dangerous game with the flu. Going in uneducated, you run the risk of symptoms like cough, migraine, and fatigue. Don't be like this guy. Combat the flu with cough drops, ibuprofen, and a good night's sleep. Be smart, don't catch the flu.
Imagine it's ice cream day at the office. And everyone from the day before voted for their favorite flavor. Everyone but you. You decided not to vote. The flavor they picked isn't the one that you wanted. But can you really complain? Shh! Now imagine that with an elected official.
Choose not to vote, choose not to be heard. Get registered today.
For most college athletes, sports is an outlet, a way to forget the worries of the world, pressures of school, everyday life, and just enjoy the love of the game. But sometimes even sports can become a lot for a player to handle. There can be constant pressure from coaches, teammates, and even themselves. Especially today, with so much criticism and influence on social media, athletes are finding it hard to be at their best all the time. ntTV's Nathan Mayer sat down with Quincy Noble, a UNT women's basketball star with a bright future.
I was so sad, like I wasn't good at my craft, something I worked so hard for, and I kind of lost myself.
Quincy Noble, one of the stars of the Mean Green women's basketball team, didn't get started playing as early as some.
I didn't start playing basketball until 7th grade. My dad kind of got me into playing basketball, got me better, and kind of why I'm here today.
Another reason we find Quincy at the University of North Texas is because of the struggles college basketball placed on her. Coming out of McKinney High School as a star, she played for New Mexico University and tells of the hard time she had adapting that first year.
Freshman year, you're coming in as a freshman and you're thinking like you're hot stuff. You think you're hot stuff because like you were hot stuff in high school. Like why wouldn't you be a freshman? But you get a rude awakening because everybody's hot stuff. My freshman year at New Mexico was very, very hard for me. I'm away from home. I really didn't feel like I had anybody that was on my side. Like I didn't have like a coach I can go to have my back and just make me feel like, you know, you're gonna get through this. Like it was a very sad like time. I was with myself. Like I would go home every day and I literally would cry myself to sleep every night because like I just didn't know what it was. I didn't understand why I wasn't being the best version of myself, why I wasn't happy.
And one of the remedies to feeling alone is to find friends in your teammates.
I had some upperclassmen that I could look up to, but like, you know, they were focused on them, making sure like their last season was good or making sure they were able to get on the court this year. So like they obviously had their own goals and they couldn't, you know, babysit me.
So then Quincy finds herself in a new place with new people and yet all alone.
Not having support is hard going as an athlete. All you have is yourself. You trust these coaches as they recruit you to come into their school, and you're away from home, like you're away from your people, and you're now surrounded by new people and trying to create those memories and create that atmosphere so you can thrive in. And it was very hard for me. I wasn't able to have that when I first got into college.
What Quincy said ultimately helped her find her way back to the top of her game was support that you can only find in one place.
I feel like what made it flip was obviously my first thing was I needed to go home. I needed to get back to home and get back to working on my craft so I can find out what made me lose it, what made me lose my confidence, because really it came down to losing your confidence. And I was able to find my confidence again. So I really feel like leaving New Mexico was that flip for me.
And that flip was something that ignited Noble into greatness for the Mean Green, with every game getting closer to breaking school records.
You know, Kyle, with finals coming up, this can be one of the most stressful times for college students.
Yeah, Maddie, a 2021 study showed that 41% of students showed symptoms of depression.
Wow, Kyle, that's a really high number, but luckily here at UNT, the Mental Health Center offers a bunch of resources for students struggling during this stressful time of year.
That's right, Maddie. UNT's Health and Wellness Center is known for providing medical treatment to students for certain illnesses and injuries. But if you're a student struggling with overwhelming stress, depression, anxiety, or other mental health issues, the center offers affordable psychiatric services to get you the help you need. They offer psychiatric evaluations, comprehensive treatment plans, consultation with outside professionals, and even prescribe medications and medication management for certain mental illnesses. There is a $50 fee for initial evals and $35 for follow-ups. The center may request past medical records prior to the first appointment. You can contact the center directly at 940-565-2333 for more information regarding outside or self-referrals. And if you're experiencing an emergency, please dial 911. That's all I have for you now. Back to you, Maddie.
Thanks, Kyle. With the semester finally coming to an end and summer approaching, I can't wait to get outside and actually enjoy the weather. And hopefully I can get started this week since it seems to finally be warming up. Sydney, what can I expect for the rest of this week?
Well, Thursday through Saturday is the perfect time to go swimming, tanning, and do all of your favorite summer activities. But let's go ahead and take a look at the temperatures we are seeing right now. Currently, across North Texas, we can see that we have temperatures ranging from the high 60s to the low 70s, with Fort Worth being at 71, Dallas being at 67, and McKinney being at 66. Now let's go ahead and zoom out to our state map. We are seeing some more inconsistent temperatures here. We can see that El Paso is going to be very warm at 83, and then as we move up to the north of the state, we are seeing those chillier temperatures with Amarillo being at 57. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our full weather forecast. Now today we can expect a high of 76 with some clouds in the sky, but tomorrow, like I said earlier, we can expect some showers later in the evening. Now Thursday through Saturday, we are going to be seeing some beautiful weather with a high of 87, but on Sunday and Monday, we do have an 80% chance of rain, so be on the lookout for that if you do have any weekend plans. But that is all I have for our full weather. Back to you at the desk, Maddie.
Thanks, Sydney. Something shocking is coming to the Big Apple, an all-electric building. This week, JP Morgan Chase announced its new global headquarters will be fully powered by renewable energy. Officials say the tower will have net zero operational emissions, partly by using power that comes from a state hydroelectric plant. Other green features include triple glazed windows and systems that store reused water, which should reduce consumption by around 40%. In addition, there will also be air filtration systems, indoor greenery, and touchless technology. The nearly 60-story skyscraper is scheduled to be completed by 2025.
And electric buildings aren't the only thing on the rise. Natural gas has spiked to the highest level since 2008. According to recent trading, the future of natural gas is set to increase by 9%, following a 16% spike just last week. The gains leave natural gas up by a staggering 113% since the end of last year. Officials say the spike comes just in time for a rare April snowstorm that's about to hit the Northeast. The cold weather will force millions of households to crank up the heat in the coming days, and in turn drive up the demand for natural gas.
Are you tired of the same bars and restaurants on Denton Square? Well, you're in luck. There's a new development happening soon.
And find out how UNT is committed to making a positive change on campus. More after the break.
Hey man, are you okay in there? You look terrible. Have you been up all night? Don't you know that according to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, staying up all night can have a negative effect on your GPA?
Sleep?
Yeah, go to bed.
Near Sanctus Spiritus.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Hey, Maddie, miss me?
Wait, Bud?
What was that all about?
An old friend.
An old friend?
Good to see you, brother.
What the hell are you doing?
That's your lucky day.
So a man's been walking in the desert for days at a time. He finally comes across a bar and orders a Coke.
That's not funny.
Eh? Eh?
You know, Maddie, I heard something big is coming to the square.
So did I. I wonder what it is, but I know our reporter Carmen Collins can tell us some more information. Carmen, what can you tell us about it?
All right, you guys, a new project is coming soon for the town square. The team of Scott Brown is planning for a multi-million-dollar hotel. The 10-story building will have 160 bedrooms with a 50,000 square foot rooftop that brings forth an entertainment lounge for all guests. It will definitely go well with Wells Fargo in the area. This high-end deluxe will be worth between $75 and $100 million, and it's expected to be ready by the year 2025. That's all I have for y'all. Back to you, Sydney and Madison.
Thanks, Carmen. UNT Student Government Association voted last Wednesday to pass a new resolution titled Trans Existence is Not a Debate. The resolution asks the university to suspend any student organization that engages in discrimination or harassment of any form. In the legislation, the SGA mentions the incident involving trans students and the Young Conservatives of Texas organization as a factor in their decision to pass the resolution, which focuses on UNT policy that prohibits hate speech. The resolution was proposed by College of Music Senator Beige Cowell at the previous week's meeting and was approved unanimously through the following week after a period of discussion.
Education has been hit hard these past few years, and many people who work in the field are struggling to keep up. In just the past year, North Texas superintendents have made the decision to resign. ntTV's Isabella Quintanilla has more.
Over the past 6 months, 10 superintendents across North Texas have announced their resignation, and a big part of this is due to the hardships many schools have faced over the past few years. The Fort Worth superintendent explained why he made the decision to resign, along with many others.
These last few years have been the most challenging leadership scenario that any of us have had to deal with, and it's time. I feel like I've done what I came here to do, and turn the keys over to someone else with a different skill set who can take the district from good to great.
Weekend, all the things. So when we're talking about social media, a
I think that we are seeing a reflection of a challenging time in education. I think we see that with higher levels of teacher attrition, and I think the fact that we're seeing some turnover at the superintendent level is reflective of the fact that we're going through some challenging situations here in Texas.
However, some superintendents have just reached a point in their career where they're ready to move on.
People are going to be retiring. You just look around and you see the number of people that are at the end of their career, and you think, we have to step up. We have to be ready to lead. And the pandemic just kind of is coinciding with a group of people who are reaching retirement age. The problem is there's not as many people coming into the profession as there are that are able to retire from it.
As these superintendents make way for new leaders, they reflect on all they've accomplished and the impact they made in education.
I hope that the impression that I leave is that I'm someone who cares about all students and really fought for non-discrimination, that we were treating everyone with dignity and respect, that we insulated, rather, all of the political foolishness from our core mission, which is teaching students and preparing them for success beyond high school.
For ntTV News, I'm Isabella Quintanilla.
The Texas Department of Public Safety is enforcing a controversial policy to limit the size of officers' waistlines. Men with waists over 40 inches and women over 35 inches have to track and share their weight loss efforts with the DPS. Failure to follow this plan can lead to severe consequences, such as being denied promotions and overtime, or even being removed from enforcement duties. Critics of the policy say the requirement is unfairly harsh on women and does not relate directly to an officer's job duties. By December 1st, officers are required to follow their plans. Did you happen to catch the Mavs game last night? I didn't get the chance to, but I heard it was a very intense game.
I actually did. It was a super good game. I was a little nervous with Lucas still being injured, but I think our sports anchor, Brandon Brunworth, can tell us a little more about it. Brandon?
Thanks, ladies. That's right. The Mavs won in a big way without Luka last night, with Jalen Brunson and Maxi Kleber having their best performance of their careers to even the series. I'll tell you all about that and more right after the break.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Let's get started. This is a motor vehicle. This is the blinker mechanism. To use it, push it up for the right blinker and down to go left. You're welcome. It was easy.
No, I've been feeling gross all week.
Maybe you should go get a COVID test.
But I already have all 3 of my shots.
Yeah, but you can still get it. I mean, maybe you should go get one just in case.
Yeah, you're right. We have that party and all that.
Yeah.
Where do I even get tested here?
Let me check.
You can find free COVID testing sites at the University Union, room 381 on weekdays, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and on weekends, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and at Chestnut Hall, room 120, from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. You have to show the QR code given to you when you arrive for an appointment. Tests take no longer than 10 minutes to complete. Results will be sent through text or email within the next 48 hours.
I got a negative COVID test. Me too. Oh my god, let's go to the party. Yes.
Hey, listen to my flow to save some H2O.
This my water rhyme, and this is how it goes. First, turn off the sink and take some time to think. When you waste water, our supply shrinks. When you take a shower, not more than an hour. Shoot for 10 minutes and save water power. Use a reusable bottle, smart like Aristotle. Ditch all the plastic and be a role model. And that was my H2O flow. Please remember how it, because if you don't, Earth will go, oh no!
Well, unfortunately, this will be the last time I report to you on our Mean Green softball team this season. And it comes as our ladies lost their first conference series of the year to Louisiana Tech. The Mean Green came out strong in the first game of the series in an 8-2 blowout win, led by Conference USA Player of the Week, Kaylee Gamble, who batted .500 on the weekend. LA Tech returned the favor, blowing out UNT in the next game, and the resulting rubber game of the series ended in a close 6-5 loss for our ladies. Our Mean Green softball team will look to bounce back as they host a tough matchup with #1 ranked Oklahoma in a sold-out Loveland Stadium tomorrow evening. As a long and tenured Cowboys fan of over 20 years, hearing about some kind of trouble with a player, executive, or, of course, the owner during the offseason has become something you just expect as a fan of this team. When we first found out that police were looking for Cowboys cornerback Kelvin Joseph to question him concerning a homicide, things looked to be pretty bleak for the young man in the early going. Since then, Kelvin, at the urge of the Cowboys, has talked to the police, and on Saturday, 2 men were arrested in connection to the murder. Joseph's lawyers claim that Joseph was a passenger in the vehicle that fired the gunshots, but was not the shooter. As of now, Kelvin has not been arrested, and we won't really know anything more until further investigations are completed. For a good story, finally. The Dallas Mavericks managed to do something I wasn't sure was possible last night in Game 2 of the first round against Utah, win a playoff game without Luka. In what was, in my opinion, a must-win game to have any chance in this series and give Luka time to get back from the injury, the Mavericks had multiple players show up when they needed them to most. Jalen Brunson led all scorers with a career-high 41 points, doing more than you could have reasonably expected, and then some. Jalen is the first player in Mavericks history to have a 40-point game with 0 turnovers in the playoffs. Equally as important is Maxi Kleber suddenly finding a shot again at the best possible time for his team. In March, Maxi made a total of 9 3-point shots during the entire month. Last night, Kleber went 8 from 11 from downtown and helped propel Dallas to a win in a big way to even out the series. It's going to be tough in Salt Lake City, even if we did have Luka fully healthy. But at least the Mavs showed last night that they can win even without their best player. Now we wait and see if Luka is a go for Game 3. That's all for me one last time. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Brandon. A set of identical triplets have gone viral on TikTok after their mother showed off her cute and creative method of telling them apart. When dealing with identical triplets, it's not always the easiest to identify them, which is why this mother has her little ones color-coded, each baby having their own nail polish color, which the TikTok community responded by calling this trick genius. In addition to nail polish application, they tend to dress the boys in their color, and when not color-coded, they're numbered. These triplets have swept the internet off its feet with their painted toes.
Wow, Sydney, that's such a cute story. I gotta give it to the mom. That's a pretty good idea.
It is, but all I know is that I could not have 3 kids. Too much for me.
I can't even handle myself. I can't imagine having any kids.
I know, like, that's a lot.
Thanks for watching ntTV News at Noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 here on North Texas Television.